Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lego Lover 117 YouTube channel. This is my Black Friday haul for the year 2022. Black Friday was kind of odd this year. It was very similar to last year where a lot of the deals started about a month in advance of Black Friday. I took to calling it Black Month, basically, Black November, because there really weren't a lot of deals that were just exclusive to Friday, the Friday after Thanksgiving. It was, hey, here's a deal this week, here's a deal this week. And then on the actual Black Friday, there were specific deals that you could have gotten then, but not a week ago. See what I mean there? And this year was quite interesting for me because I took part largely in the Criterion sale that goes on every November at Barnes & Noble and also on Criterion's website. Prior to this sale, the only two Criterions I had in my Blu-ray collection were 12 Angry Men and 1984. Both of these are fantastic movies. What's this from? 1957, and this is actually from 1984, so they served me well, but I figured it was now time for some more Criterions to be added to the collection. Criterion is like this prestigious Blu-ray label that takes what many consider to be the greatest films from all around the world and preserves them in the highest quality possible. You just saw 12 Angry Men, 1984, Citizen Kane, Thin Red Line, Parasite, Foreign Correspondent. So many great films are in the Criterion collection, as well as a lot of foreign films as well. I did my Criterion shopping about 2 weeks prior to Black Friday, and I didn't actually get the chance to go out on actual Black Friday because last year I got COVID, so I was home from work during actual Black Friday, so I was able to go out and grab all the stuff that I wanted because by then I was fully recovered from that. This year I didn't have that excuse, so I had to go into work on Friday, and every year we go across the Ohio River to Derby Dinner Playhouse up in Indiana, so I wasn't able to actually go out on actual Black Friday. I did, however, get to go to Best Buy a few days prior to Black Friday and pick up a couple of titles from there, which you'll see later on in the video. So I've got 3 different sections of stuff to talk about. Well, I guess technically 4, because most of these are movies, but we also have some toys at the very end here. This first section is stuff that wasn't technically part of Black Friday, but I picked it up during Black November, as I've coined it now, and they weren't the best deals out there, but they were deals to me. So first title up is Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick. This is one of my favorite films of the year. I've had a chance to watch it on 4K. It looks absolutely stunning. If you haven't seen this movie yet, you definitely need to because it's a fun time. I picked this up on eBay, actually. I picked it up for $21.99. So after shipping and tax, it was like $24.96 or something. That's a deal, in my opinion. It's about $6 off of the retail price, which is $30, and after tax, it would be about $32. So that's a deal for me. Took a little while to get here, though. I was willing to wait, though. I picked this up during, I think, the first week in November, and it showed up on my doorstep about a week later. Next movie up should be very familiar to you if you watch my home media review series, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation on 4K. I talked about this in the home media review supplemental on this movie, but I picked it up for about $23 off of Amazon. So after shipping, it was, I think it came out to be about $25 after shipping and tax. So that's a good deal. I saved about $3 on this because the MSRP is $27.99. So good deal for me. Can't wait to watch it in 4K. Haven't got a chance to watch it yet. And finally, the last movie that, well, movies, I should say. This is a box set that I picked up from Barnes & Noble during, I think, my second go-around at the Criterion sale. This is the Sean Connery Collection Volume 2 on Blu-ray. I have Volume 1. I got that for Christmas a few years ago. But Volume 2 I picked up from, I think, Walmart back in the day on DVD. That was a long time ago when I used to buy those willingly. Now I only buy Blu-rays because I can't stand DVDs. So I upgraded these to Blu-ray. This set includes Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and Diamonds Are Forever. This set, I think, turned out to be about $18 after the discount. At Barnes & Noble, sometimes they run random sales on movies that languish on their shelves, so this was, I think, like $22 or something, but it was like 20% off or something. Can't really remember off the top of my head, but it wasn't too expensive, and it was a good price for me, so I now have all the Sean Connery James Bond films on Blu-ray. Unless you count Never Say Never Again, because that is it's an unofficial James Bond movie. I don't know what the story is behind that, but all I know is the Blu-ray for that movie is extremely expensive, and it's not included in either Volume 1 or 2 of this collection. So, yeah, these are the movies that were kind of deals, but also not really. But happy to have them. Why don't we talk about my Criterions now, since I just hyped them up earlier on in the video. These first two came from my first go around at the actual Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble. First one up is For All Mankind. This does have a 4K release from Criterion, but I decided to save a bit of money and just pick up the Blu-ray because I don't really need it in 4K. I think the Blu-ray is going to look just fine because Criterion does the best job ever at preserving films in the highest quality possible. But this is a documentary about the moon landing. It's from director Al Reinhardt. I don't know a lot about this guy, and I don't know a lot about this movie, but I am very fascinated with space. It's one of my interests. I've done a lot of research on how space travel works and the kinds of stuff that we've found and how we landed on the moon, especially in the 60s. It seemed impossible, so I'm very excited to take a look at this documentary For All Mankind. It's also part of the reason why 2001 A Space Odyssey scares the living crap out of me, because while I am interested in space, it is also just a vast vacuum of nothing. And if you end up like the astronaut in 2001 that Hal launches off of the ship, I mean, you float forever and you just starve and you die in the cold vacuum of space. That, if you've never seen 2001 A Space Odyssey, it's a really good movie. It's also very trippy, and if you're scared of space and the unknown like I am, it will probably scare you half to death. Other title I picked up the first go around at the Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble, The Last Temptation of Christ. This is a Martin Scorsese film from, what year is it from? 1988. I'm slowly losing my natural lighting here, so I gotta go through this pretty quick here. But Last Temptation of Christ, it stars Willem Dafoe as Jesus. According to the description on the back, it is an alternate retelling of how Christ died on the cross. I am a Christian, so I'm interested to see how Martin Scorsese wants to change that true story. So I figured, you know what, why not for $20? It's probably obscenely long. Let's see how long it is. Yeah, 163 minutes. Martin Scorsese makes long movies. By the way, did you guys see Martin Scorsese's comments about Marvel? I think he's just mad that Endgame is a better movie than The Irishman. Sorry, I said it. This next pick came from Amazon because they didn't have it at the Barnes & Noble that I went to. Amazon price matched Barnes & Noble and had all their Criterions that were on their site for 50% off, so I picked up this movie. It's called Election. It stars Matthew Broderick and Reese Witherspoon, and I was watching some videos about the best movies from the Criterion collection, and a couple of them mention this movie. They say it's a great political satire, so you know what? Why not for $20? Matthew Broderick's a great actor. I don't really know much about Reese Witherspoon. Wasn't she in Monsters vs. Aliens? That's such a random movie to bring up, but I'm excited to give this a watch at some point. I love political satires. Parks and Rec's one of my favorite shows. I love how modern Hollywood can make fun of our government system and how ineffective it is. So then about a week after I got these three titles in from Criterion, I thought, why not go back to Barnes & Noble and see if they've got anything else? And I picked up something else. I knew I probably shouldn't have gone in there because I was like, I don't want to spend any money. I'm trying to be pickier this Black Friday than I have been in the past because inflation is a real thing and Joe Biden is destroying America and also our economy. So I had to save my money just in case an economic collapse comes about. It's closer than you might think. So So I went into Barnes & Noble with the intent of not spending money, but I wound up picking up The Beatles, A Hard Day's Night. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of The Beatles. They're a good band. I mean, I don't have a lot of their albums. I have maybe one or two on my phone, and I listen to them every once in a while, but I don't know, there's something about this packaging that was calling to me. I mean, look how, if we compare it here to For All Mankind, I mean, look how much bigger it is. This is a big thing, and for $20, I was like, heck yes, man, there's no way I'm not picking this up for $20. And from the description on the back, it seems like this is a parody of the actual band. It's a month after they premiered on the Ed Sullivan Show, which was like a really big point in the Beatles' history. It's when I think that's when they were introduced to America, basically, and everyone went nuts for these guys. So I'm excited to give it a watch. And again, it's just a really big, thick case. It feels really nice in the hands. You slide it out. It's got this big book in the middle of it. How thick that is. And then this is the Blu-ray and the DVD combo pack. This also, I think, got a 4K release, but I decided I don't really need it in 4K. So that is 4 more titles added to my Criterion collection. Okay, second to last category here. This is just general movies, like newer stuff that came out earlier on in the year. Like this film. This is Elvis, starring Austin Butler, who I know primarily from his days on Nickelodeon on Zoe 101. He was in the last season, and they totally botched the character arc for him. Wasn't he also in, like, Big Time Rush or something? I don't know. He was in a lot of Nickelodeon shows. But now he's Elvis, and I actually picked this up on Amazon along with Election Criterion Blu-ray. I picked these up at the same time. This was $10. They price matched Best Buy, and I think this sold out pretty quick because after I bought it, I couldn't find it again. So apparently a lot of people really liked Elvis. I know my parents watched it on HBO Max. My grandparents saw it in theaters. Everyone I've talked to says this movie's amazing, so I decided, why not? I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. And I mean, just look at that slipcover. Look how shiny it is. It's a really good poster on there. These last 3 film titles came from Best Buy. I went there a few days before Black Friday, actually, because I heard that their sales were going on earlier than everywhere else. So I picked up Everything Everywhere All at Once, another movie I missed in theaters, and every single person I've talked to that's seen it said it's amazing. So yeah, they say it's even better than Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. They say this is the superior multiverse film. I don't know, though. I really liked Multiverse of Madness. You're going to have to do a lot of convincing to show me that you're better than that movie, because I think that movie's great. Next up is an Edgar Wright film. Oh, and I should also mention that Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think, was $10, and so is this next title. This is Last Night in Soho. This is directed by Edgar Wright. I'm a huge Edgar Wright fan. I love the Blood and Ice Cream trilogy as well as Baby Driver. I think he has a great sense of humor. Didn't miss this in theaters. I think this came out last year, and for $10 in 4K, let's go ahead and pick it up, I guess. And you know how I said previously in the Criterion section, it took some serious convincing for me to buy black and white movies in 4K? Well, this was $8. I'm a filthy hypocrite, okay? It's a Wonderful Life in 4K. I hear this one looks absolutely stunning in 4K, so I didn't have it, and this was actually Hope's grandmother's favorite Christmas film, so I decided to pick it up for my collection, because Nanner probably would have had a heart attack if she knew I didn't have this in my collection. So this one's for you, Nanner. We're going to watch this one this year in honor of you. I think I saw this a few years ago. My parents recorded it off TV, and we watched it, and I was like, yeah, it was okay. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but, maybe with my renewed perspective as a 23-year-old adult male, maybe I'll appreciate it more, but it's a Wonderful Life. So those are the general 4K releases, all 4K releases this year. No Blu-rays for the regular films, not the Criterions. Although I will say, I had Citizen Kane in my hands multiple times when I went to Barnes & Noble trying to find new Criterions to buy. I had it in my hands twice. And I was like, do I need it? I don't know. There was some controversy around that Blu-ray that came in that Citizen Kane set, but I don't know if the 4K was affected or not, and many people say it's the greatest film of all time. I've never seen it, so do I need it in my collection? I decided no this time around, but let's be honest, when the Criterion sale happens again in July of next year, I'm probably going to pick it up. So our final category is toys. GameStop was running a sale on their in-stock figures on their website and also in-store. Pretty much all their Star Wars Black Series stuff was $18.99. Even their exclusive figures, GameStop exclusive Star Wars figures have gone through the roof in terms of price. They used to be like a few dollars more than regular retail. Back when retail price was $19.99, they were like at $22.99, but now they're closer to $30.99. I mean, it's insane how expensive these have gotten, but they were all $18.99, which is a huge discount for me. So I walked into my local GameStop, I think the Saturday after Black Friday, and picked these guys up. I got Fixer from Republic Commando. I have Sev and Boss. They are over on that shelf over there. But Fixer is brand new. He just came out not 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I'm surprised that my GameStop actually had some stock, because my GameStop stinks when it comes to new Black Series figures. They get like 20 of the Night Brother Warriors 6 months after they first started showing up at other GameStops, and then they just languish on their store shelves, and then they're marked down to clearance prices. So, surprised that they actually had Fixer. And for $18.99, you can see there the price was originally $27.99, so that was a good price for this guy. And the same day, I also grabbed the 13th Battalion Clone Trooper. This one's from Jedi Fallen Order. This is the group of clones that attack Cal and his master when Order 66 is given. So yeah, you have to fight these guys in the game, but it's cool to always get new clones. I'm a clone nut. I try to buy as many clones as I can. I just bought 2 more Jet Troopers that were on clearance at GameStop for 50% off clearance price. So yeah, more clones added to the shelf. That is never a bad thing in my mind. So yeah, 13th Battalion Clone Trooper. I really like the coloring on this. It's a very unique design for this kind of trooper. So yeah, 2 GameStop exclusives for $18.99 each. Both of these together wound up being about $40, so that's a good deal. And then a few days prior to recording this video, I walked into a local place called Through the Decades. Some things they know the value of, but other things they don't know the value of. So this guy they definitely didn't know the value of. This is a brand new mint on card Marvel Legends Mark 1 Iron Man. You can see the price tag there. I got it for $20. And they were actually running a Black Friday sale as well. So after the discount, I think the guy said this was like $14 and some change after the discount. So I don't know how much I got off of this, but $14 and some change for a mint on card Iron Man that I'm going to open, that's pretty good in my opinion. Okay, so I lost pretty much all my natural light, but here we are. Here's everything that I picked up on Black Friday this year, or around the time of Black Friday. You got the toys and the movies, all that good stuff there. So I know this Black Friday was a bit weird with the deals and such, and also I wasn't filming in my closet, but hey, I wanted to change things up a bit this year. That seems to be a theme going on with the channel these last couple of months, with collection month changing and all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you guys picked up stuff for Black Friday, and if you did, let me know what you got. I'd love to know. As always, thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Good night, everybody.